Today we are starting with profit and loss. Again, as I have already told you before, I'm going to repeat it. Profit and loss is 90% repetition of percentage. Whatever concepts we did in percentage, it would be more of a repetition today, just with the different terminologies of profit and loss. But the concepts remain same. So before starting with profit and loss, let us go with the terms that are used. Let us understand the terms and then we'll go with the concepts. So starting with the very basic term CP or cost price. What is cost price?
The price at which a good is made.
The price at which the good is made, or made sellable. So for example, if I have bought a product in 500 rupees and I have spent 100 rupees on its repair, my cost price is going to be 600, because that is what I have spent on the product to make it sellable. So all your repair and maintenance cost is also added to the cost price. Okay. What is your selling price?
Yes. The cost at which a good is sold.
Correct. The cost at which the good is sold, right? And from the cost price or the selling price, you can judge your profit and loss. So, what is your profit? Whenever your selling price is more than cost price, the difference is nothing but your profit amount. And whenever your cost price is more than selling price, again the difference is the loss amount. Okay. And
Yes, yes.
now, talking about profit percentage, how do I calculate profit percentage? So, profit percentage is always calculated on the basis of cost price. If I want to judge whether my deal is in profit or the deal is in loss, my base to judge will always be my cost price. If my selling price is more, my deal is in profit. If my selling price is less, my deal is in loss. But my basis to judge will always be my cost price. Okay, so your profit percentage is nothing but percentage of profit amount on the basis of cost price. Similarly, loss percentage will be, how will you calculate loss percentage?
Loss upon 16 to 100.
Again, upon CP only. You will never calculate profit or loss on the basis of selling price. Are we clear up till here?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. All right. So this is one part. Now going to the other terminologies. What is marked price or list price? There are these two terms also used in certain questions. Marked price or list price. Any idea? So marked price is nothing but, or you can say MRP of product, the price at which the product is kept in the market to sell. That is your marked price. So can't you say that marked price and selling price are two same things?
Ma'am, the marked price includes the value of the product also, more like the economic value.
No. Marked price is the pure MRP of the product. Okay, I reframe my question. Are marked price and selling price of the product always equal?
No, ma'am.
When are they not equal?
When discount happens.
Very good. So when discount comes into picture, mark price and selling price are not equal. What is discount? So whatever mark price is there, the difference between the mark price and the final price at which the product is sold is your discount amount. So if your product is kept at 1200 rupees on market and you are said there's a 20% discount, 240 rupees will be deducted from the mark price, right? So finally your product will be sold at 960 rupees. I repeat, if mark price is 1200 rupees and somebody says there is a discount of 20%, which means discount will always be applied on mark price. right? So यहाँ पे I'm going to add this concept that discount percentage is always a percentage of mark price. So discount as a part of mark price into 100. So if discount is 20%, which means discount amount is 240, 1200, 10% is 120, 20% will be 240. So your selling price becomes 1200 minus 240, which is 960. Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
If there is no discount, mark price and selling price would be same. All right, so this is about mark price, discount, and discount percentage. And next that we will look at is markup percentage. What do I mean by markup? What is the meaning of markup? So let's say you are a goods manufacturer. You have produced a good in 1000 rupees. Would you keep it on the market shelf to sell at 1000 rupees?
No, ma'am.
No, you will add some markup on it, or you will add some profit on it, because of course you don't want to sell at a price on which you have manufactured it. So that addition which you add on the cost price is nothing but your markup. So your markup is nothing but the difference between the mark price and the cost price. And that is why your markup percentage will always be a percentage of, what do you think markup percentage will be calculated on the basis of?
Cost price.
Cost price, because you are increasing. For example, if I'm producing my goods at 1000 rupees and I want a 50% markup, you are increasing 50% of 1000 and you are keeping it in the market at 1500 rupees, right? So your markup is always done on cost price. That is why it is a percentage of cost price. So I'm repeating couple of things. Profit or loss is always just a percentage of CP. Discount is always a percentage of mark price, and markup percentage is always a percentage of cost price. Very important. Fine. So basically, in profit and loss, we generally come across three types of calculations. Okay. Type 1. Type 1 is, let's say I am given SP and I am given CP. Let's say my SP is 1200 and my CP is, let's say, 900. So first of all, is it a profit or a loss?
Profit.
How much profit?
300.
Okay. And if I am asked what is the profit percentage, what will be my profit percentage?
300 upon 900 and 200.
Which would be 1/3. 1/3 is what percentage?
33.33.
33.33. So your profit percentage is 33.33. So one type of calculation is you are given selling price, you are given for cost price, and what you are supposed to find is profit or loss percentage. Is this calculation clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes.
second type of calculation is you are given cost price. Let's say my cost price is 800 rupees. Okay. And you are given profit percentage. Let's say my profit percentage is 12.5%. Okay. And you are supposed to find selling price. So first thing, profit percentage is 12.5%. 12.5% is equal to what fraction?
1/8.
Very good. So 1/8 of what will be added?
Cost price.
Correct. So what is 1/8 of cost price?
100.
So your profit is of 100 rupees, and that is why your selling price is going to be
900.
900. Are we understanding this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can also look at it as a multiplier method. So basically, your multiplier method says that your selling price is nothing but your cost price into the multiplier. Do you remember the multiplier method we did in the percentage? Now, how do you find the multiplier? If it's a profit, my multiplier will be 1 plus the fraction. And if it's a loss, my multiplier will be 1 minus the fraction. In this case, it's a profit. So if there's a profit of 12.5%, which is 1/8, what will be the multiplier?
9/8.
1 plus 1/8, which is 9/8, exactly. So my selling price is going to be 800 into 9/8, which will also give you 900 rupees. Yes, so my second category of calculation is I'm given cost price, I'm given profit or loss percentage, and what you are supposed to find is the selling price. And now let's go to the third category of questions. Should I erase the screen? Has everybody noted down what you had to, or should I wait?
Ma'am, we have noted down.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to just erase the screen so that I can write more further. All right. Now looking at the third type of calculation that you're expected is you are given selling price. Let's say my selling price is 2400. You are given profit percentage. Let's say my profit percentage is 9.09%. And you are supposed to find cost price. How will you do this? In this type of calculation, you will again follow the same multiplier method. Never ever try to reduce 9.09 percentage from 2400. Are you getting me? That would be incorrect because 9.09% is only a percentage of cost price. You cannot apply it on selling price. If I have to follow this method, my selling price is 2400. I don't know my cost price. What will be my multiplier is what I want to know. What will be my multiplier?
12/11.
12/11.
Very good, because 9.09 is 1/11, and because it is a profit, it is going to be 12/11. This gets cancelled, and my cost price becomes 2200. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the third type of calculation. We are just using the multiplier methods. Okay, so one thing is, so in the multiplier method, you know that selling price is equal to cost price into multiplier. Similarly, selling price is also marked price into multiplier. You know when there's a discount, right? So for example, if selling price is again given to you as, let's say, 3600, okay, and the discount percentage is given to you as 10%. You are supposed to find the mark price. How will you do it? So selling price is 3600. Mark price I don't know. But what will be the multiplier applied on the mark price?
9/10.
9/10. Because it's a discount, it has to be minus by default. So 1 minus 1/10. And that is why if you calculate, your mark price will be 4000. Are we getting this? A very common mistake that a lot of students make is, instead of doing this, what will they do is, discount is 10%. No, so let us add that to the selling price and you'll get the mark price. So 3600 plus 10% was 360, which is again incorrect. because discount percentage is a percentage of mark price and not of selling price. You cannot do that. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right? All right. Okay, then let's move on to a few concepts because now we understood these terms. So concepts should be easier to do. All right, come on. Now, I want you to give me the related multipliers here. What will be the multipliers? If the profit is of 20%, selling price is equal to what of cost price?
655.
Very good. Because 20%, 1/5, 1 plus 1/5. Loss of 16.66.
556.
Okay. Markup of 40%. Again, for mark price also, I can say mark price is equal to CP into multiplier in the case of markup, right? Because when you add markup to the cost price, you reach this mark price. Do you all agree with that? So in this case, this concept will be applied. First of all, 40% is what fraction?
2/5.
2 by 5. So markup is always nothing but addition on the cost price. It is never going to be subtraction. So when you add 2 by 5, what does your multiplier become?
7/5.
7 by 5. I hope everybody is getting me. This is very important. If you have a doubt, please ask. Okay. Next, discount of 11.11 percentage.
8/9.
Selling price is 8 by 9 of mark price. Right. Profit of 30 percentage.
3/10.
3 by 10. And when it's a profit, what does
13/10.
see, if I know these ratios and these fractions, a lot of calculations in profit and loss becomes very simple and fast. But if I don't use the fractions, my calculations will be lengthier, right? Loss of 14.28.
6/7.
Very good. Markup of 35%. So first of all, you will have to calculate what is the fraction of 35%. Now 35% is not something that we have learned in our list, but you know how to convert any percentage to fraction. How do I convert any percentage to fraction? Divide by 100. Yes. So basically 35 percentage is nothing but 7 by 20 in fraction format. So now if the markup is of 35%, what will be the multiplier?
27/20.
Right. So first you will have to find the fraction in this case and then the multiplier. Okay. And discount of 22.22
2/9.
is the discount. So what will be the multiplier? 1 minus 2 by 9, which is 7 by 9. Do we understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I repeat, all these three relations are extremely important. Selling price is equal to cost price into multiplier. Mark price is equal to selling price into multiplier. Sorry, my mistake. Selling price is equal to mark price into multiplier because discount is applied on mark price, right? And your markup is equal to CP into multiplier. These three are very important. You should not make a mistake in this.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So let's try to solve this question. The cost price of a product is 14749. If the shopkeeper intends to make a 14.28 percentage profit, what should his selling price be? So how will you do this? I want to know the method.
Multiplier,
Hmm. So what will be your equation like? What will it look like?
selling price is equal to cost price into multiplier,
So your cost price is
and
14749. What will be your multiplier then?
8 by 7.
Are we clear? And clearly this will get cancelled by 7. This bigger number is going to get cancelled by 7. Are we clear with this, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Let's try to do this. If selling price is 36,000, shopkeeper makes 9.09% loss. What is the cost price?
Cost price is equal to selling price upon multiplier.
Okay. Or I can just, that is also fine, not a
Yeah,
problem. What will be the multiplier in this case?
10 by 11.
Right? So I just need to cancel out this 1, 0 and 0, multiply 11 on the other side, and you will get your cost price. Okay. Let's try to do this. This is important. A dealer makes a profit of 10% after selling an item at a discount of 10%. Try to understand the question. Sometimes when you go to a store in the sale, of course you're getting a discount on an item, but that doesn't mean that the shopkeeper is selling to you at a loss. The profit margin has decreased, but there is still some profit, right? Same thing over here. He makes a profit of 10% after selling an item at a discount of 10%. Now let us see this. Whenever you have a profit of 10% and a discount of 10%, I mean profit and discount percentage both together in one question, what do you do is you try to compare the selling price by two different ways. What do I mean by that? So first of all, when there's a profit in the picture, when there's a profit in the picture, how do you relate selling price and profit?
Profit is selling price minus cost price.
Correct. So in the multiplier method, can I say selling price is nothing but cost price into what will be the multiplier in this case?
11 by 10.
Correct. That is one thing. Now let's come to the second term. There's a discount over here. So how do you relate discount and selling price?
Selling price is cost price minus discount.
Not cost price.
Market price.
Oh,
Market.
sorry.
And what will be the multiplier in this case?
9 by 10.
Perfect. Did you understand both these equations? And of course, in the entire scenario, my selling price will not change. So can I say this and this are two equal things? Which means your CP into 11 by 10 is equal to mark price into 9 by 10? Yes? So your 11 CP is equal to 9 MP. Are we clear, guys? So I can say my marked price upon cost price is 11 by 9. Now what is asked to me? What percentage above the cost price has he marked the item? Now what does this ratio mean? When my marked price is 11, my cost price is 9. Which means when my cost price is 9, how much rupees above the cost price has the item been marked?
2 rupees.
2 rupees. So what was your, how did you calculate markup percentage? Do you remember? What was the formula for markup percentage?
CP into
Markup price
multiplier.
of 200.
Markup upon cost price into 100. So what is your markup over here? What is your markup over here?
9.
2 rupees upon cost price into 100, which is nothing but 22.22 percentage. Are you understanding this?
Yes, ma'am.
What percentage above the cost price has he marked the item is nothing but the markup percentage that they are looking out for. The markup percentage is the markup amount upon the cost price into 100. And markup amount is nothing but the difference between the mark price and the cost price. Clear? Everyone sure? Again, this is an important type of a question. So I want everybody to be 100% sure about it.
Clear, ma'am.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
good. Okay. Now talking about freebies. So you tell me, let's say you go to a sale where they say buy one, get one free. What percentage discount are they effectively offering you?
50%.
50%, right? It is not 100%, correct? So
No.
basically, how do I do this is if I have, sorry, pen, it's a laptop pen. Okay, so if there's a buy one get one free, it's a 50% discount. Basically, whatever free you get comes in the numerator, and total items that you're taking home comes in the denominator into 100. So you got one item free out of two, which gives you 50%. So in this case, buy 5, get 2 free. What should be the ratio?
2 by 7 into 100.
So 2 by 7 is what percentage? 1 by 7 is 14.28. So 2 by 7 will be 28.56.
28.57.
Correct. Buy 8, get 4 free. What should be the ratio?
4 by 12.
Which is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is what percentage?
33.33.
Basically, the effective discount in such a scheme is 33.33% discount. Okay, last one, buy 5, get 7.
7 by 12 into 100.
See the difference between the previous questions and this question.
The freebies are more.
Buy 5, get 7. How many are the freebies? 7 or 2? When I say buy 5, get 2 free. And when I say buy 5, get 7, which means you buy 5 and you take 7 home. So what are the freebies?
Okay, 2.
Out of total will be.
7.
Did you understand this? It's not get 7 free, it's get 7.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving ahead, buying and selling of multiple articles. So now we are going to do some special cases that if you see this particular case in any question, there are shorter ways of solving it. Okay, all right. First thing is if I am selling two items at the same selling price. So if two items are sold at 600 rupees each, one at a profit of 20% and one at a loss of 20%, what is the net profit or loss? So in such case, when the selling price is same and the profit and the loss percentage is also same, the effective profit or loss percentage is nothing but x square by 100% loss. Now, what is x in this case? X is that percentage which is same for profit and loss. What is the percentage over here? 20. So, what will be x square?
40.
400.
Sorry, 400.
So, it is nothing but 4% loss. Doesn't matter what the selling price is. Just matters it has to be same. Are we getting this shortcut? So I repeat, to apply this shortcut, two things are necessary. Selling price of both the articles need to be same, and one article has to be sold at a profit, another at a loss, and both with same percentage. If these three conditions satisfy, you can directly use this formula, x square by 100% loss. Okay. Now next is, if items are bought at same price, the cost price is same, and the profit and the loss percentage is also same, the net profit or net loss will always be 0%. So in the second case, again, three conditions are applicable. One is cost price of both the articles need to be same. Second is one need to be sold at a profit and another at a loss. And third is profit and loss percentage need to be equal. In that case, the effective entire effective profit or loss on the transaction is going to be 0%. Now, what if the percentages are not same? So for example, in the first case, if my selling price for both the item is 600, one is sold at a profit of 20%, and let us say that another is sold at a loss of 10%. So can you apply the shortcut? Can you apply the
No,
shortcut?
ma'am.
No. So in this case, I cannot apply the shortcut. Then what will I have to do is, for both the cases individually, I will have to find the cost price. Now, if you have selling price and if you have profit or loss percentage, how can you find the cost price? So selling price is equal to cost price into multiplier. So for the first case where the profit is 20%, can I say my multiplier will be 6 by 5?
Yes, ma'am.
And for the second case where my loss is 10%, can I say my multiplier will be 9 by 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So using these two equations, I will find both the cost prices. So using both the cost prices, can I say the total cost price for both the items will be CP1 plus CP2? And total selling price for both the items is clearly 600 plus 600, which is 1200. Now, depending on which is more, selling price or cost price, you can determine profit or loss, and you can also find the percentage.
Yes, ma'am.
So if the percentages are not same, you might have to follow this longer route.
Can you just go over the concept once more?
Did you understand the first and second and the, I mean,
Ma'am, I understood the second and third one, but the first one I'm a bit confused.
so in the first one, the condition is if there are two items which are sold at same selling price,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but one is sold at a profit, another is sold at a loss, but both the percentages are same. See, you are reaching 600 in one case after selling it at a profit of 20%, and you are reaching 600 in another case after selling it at a loss of 20%. So clearly cost price in both the cases will be different,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So if this is the case, you can also follow this longer method which we just did. But if the percentages are same, you don't need to follow the longer method. You can directly use this shortcut and it will always be a loss.
Okay, got it, ma'am. So then why do we consider the second case to be 0%?
Because in this case, the cost price is same. So if both the cost prices are same, let's say
Got
100,
it, ma'am.
so 120
Yes.
and 80,
Yes, ma'am. Got it, got it.
right? Okay. All right. Let's see this third type. The cost price of 8 articles is equal to the selling price of 10 articles. Find profit or loss percentage. You tell me how we can go about it. There are multiple ways to solve this, whatever strikes you. How many of us say that the profit or loss percentage should be 0 because cost price is equal to selling price? Nobody? Why? What's the problem in that statement?
Number of articles are different.
Correct. So I cannot compare the cost price and selling price of different articles to find the percentage ever. So I need to get the articles in both the sides to be same. Either you get it to 1 or you get it to 100 or you get it to any other number, but it has to be same. Fair. So now how can you go about this? Any idea? So let me show you multiple methods for this. First is cost price of 8 articles is equal to selling price of 10. Clearly, my cost price and selling price are of different number of articles. But can I just assume my total cost price and total selling price as a number because it's equal? And because it is 8 and 10, let me take a number which is a multiple of both 8 and 10. Can you tell me any number which is a multiple of both 8 and 10?
40.
40. So let me say my total cost price is 40, which is equal to my total selling price, which is also 40. Agreed? So what will be the cost price of one article?
5 and 4.
5. And what will be the selling price of one article? 4. So now I have bought both the cost price and selling price to one article. So now can I compare this?
Yes.
Yes. So what will be your loss percentage? Clearly it's a loss. What will be your loss percentage?
1 by 5 into 100.
Which is
20.
20. Clear with this method? Okay. Another method is I write this statement in the form of an equation. Cost price of 8 articles. I am writing small cp to denote cost price of one article is equal to selling price of 10 articles, which means selling price upon cost price is equal to 8 by 10, which is 4 by 5. So when selling price is 4, cost price is 5, can I say my loss percentage will be 20%?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear with both the methods?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so whichever you are comfortable with, you can apply in such type of question.
Ma'am, if you choose the second option, then how will you know if it is profit or loss?
Because if selling price is 8 and cost price is 10, sorry, cancelling it, if selling price is 4 and cost price is 5, clearly cost price is more.
Okay.
So it is a loss of 1 rupee on 5. All right. Now again, these are again few specific cases. Adulteration is when there is a mixture. So for example, what your milkman does every morning. Okay, he mixes some water to the milk and sells you, at a particular price. So clearly he is earning some profit out of it. Let us see how to solve such type of questions. A dairy mixes 1 liter water in 4 liters milk and sells the mixture at cost price. See, if you are a customer and if dairy tells you that I am selling you this at my cost price, which means I am selling you at a price at which I bought it, which means according to the dairy, he's not earning any profit. Do you understand this?
Yes.
So selling the mixture at cost price upfront means that there is no profit. But because he is mixing 1 liter water, there is a hidden profit which you are supposed to find. Are we clear on the concept first? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how do I find that? So, first of all, what I can do is I can just assume a cost price of milk. Let's say cost price per liter of milk, I am assuming to be 100 so that my calculations are easy. Okay. Now, whenever you are solving such a question, you will always be in the role of a person who is doing the cheating. So, you are the dairy. All right. Now dairy, what does dairy do? He gets 4 liters of milk. So tell me, what will be the cost price for 4 liters of milk?
400.
For the dairy. Okay, now he is adding 1 liter of water to it. So what will be the added cost price of water?
100.
Why? Did we understand what happened? 100, and I'm adding water to it. Now water does not come at any cost. Water cost price is always 0. So you're not adding anything to your cost price. But what has increased?
The quantity.
So now the quantity has become
400.
huh?
5 liters.
5 liters. So now that 5 liters can, the dairy is saying that I am selling you this 5 liters can at my cost price. So what will be the total selling price for 5 liters?
500.
Did we all understand this? So if cost price is 400 and selling price is 500, what is the profit percentage?
100 by 400. So 1 by 4.
25. Okay. Now see, this is one more different type of a cheating. A grocer claims to sell his goods at cost price. However, he uses 950 grams instead of 1 kg. Find his profit percentage. So again, let's, for such questions, no, I always prefer to make this table. Let's make a buy side and a sell side of a table. And in both of these sides, let us try to note down the data given to you in terms of price and quantity. Now let us see this. A grocer claims that he is selling his goods at cost price, which means upfront he is claiming that he is not earning any profit. Did we understand this? Okay. But he uses 950 grams instead of 1 kg weight. Now see, clearly there is no cheating happening on the buying side, which means the grocer is buying 1 kg quantity at the price of 1 kg. So I'm assuming price of 1 gram is 1 rupee, so 1 kg is 1000 rupees. Is the buy side clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now what is happening on the selling side? He uses 950 grams instead of 1 kg, which means he is selling what quantity to the customer? 950 grams. But he is taking the price of what quantity from the customer?
1 kg.
So price taken is 1000 rupees, but the quantity sold is 950. Are we clear on this transaction? Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
this is step 1. Now step 2 is what we learned in the previous question. I cannot calculate profit or loss percentage unless my quantity on both the side is same. So clearly here the buying side and the selling side, the quantities are different. So my step 2 will be to equate the quantity. So to equate the quantity, let me multiply this side by 95 and let me multiply this side by 10. By 100, sorry. This side by 95 and this side by 100. So what will this become? 95,000. This will also become 95,000. This will become 1 lakh and this will become 95,000. So has my quantity now become, sorry, wrong circle. Has my quantity now become same on both the sides?
Yes, ma'am.
So when my quantity becomes same, now I can compare the price for my cost price and my selling price. So if my cost price is 95,000 and if my selling price is 1 lakh, what is my profit amount?
5,000.
5,000, and my cost price is 95,000. So my profit percentage will be 5 upon 95, which is 1 by 19. What is 1 by 19 in terms of percentage? We don't remember. See, in faulty weights, no, if you follow this 2-3 steps approach, all the variations can be solved. So in case if a trader does some cheating on the buy side also, I can put that cheating in the first step. In the first step, all your data should come, including the cheating part. Second step should be equating my quantity. That's it. So let me give you one simple change. Let's say if the grocer claims that he is selling his goods at 10% profit. What is the grocer saying? Ki main sirf I'm just earning 10%. I cannot give you any more discount. I'm just earning 10% on my cost price. What will be the change in the first step?
The selling price will increase by 10%.
And that would be what?
1,100.
Correct. This would be the only change. Again, the next steps, the consecutive steps would remain the same. So with this, we are done with the concepts of profit and loss with the faulty weights, right? Now we can go down to your question sheet to solve few questions, how much ever we can do in the class, and then rest of the questions will be done as homework. So now let us try to solve questions. Suresh is borrowing 8,000 at 5% interest. So on the 0th year, he is borrowing 8,000. On a reducing balance at the start of the year. What do I mean by this is, and he repays 1,400 at the end of each year. Okay, so let's say I have borrowed 8,000 rupees. After exactly 1 year, how much interest will also be accumulated on my borrowed amount? Yes, how much interest will be accumulated? What is 5% of 8,000?
400.
400. So clearly at the end of 1 year, I am liable to pay 8,400. Is everybody agreeing with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm liable to pay this at the beginning of the first year, which is 8,400. I mean, at the end of the first year. But how much do I pay?
1,400.
1,400. So how much am I further liable to pay? 7,000. The second year, again on this 7,000 which is left on my balance, because I am extending one more year, again 5% profit will be added to it. Sorry, 5% interest will be added to it.
Yes.
So what is 5% of 7,000?
350.
350. So I will be liable to pay 7,350. But how much am I paying again?
1,400.
1,400. So what will be my balance in the beginning of third year?
5,950.
So that is my outstanding loan in the beginning of third year, which is asked. Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A cell phone is available for 39,000 cash or 6,000 cash down payment, followed by 4 equal monthly installments at 24% per annum, compound interest, compounded monthly. Find the value of each installment. So, first of all, this is compounded monthly, which means how many times in a year?
12.
12 times. So what will be the effective percentage rate that I will consider?
2%.
2%. This is the first thing. Okay. Now, how do I again go about this? You are supposed to pay 4 equal installments. So let's say if I talk about 0, 1, 2, 3, these months, okay, the installment I'm paying at every month is, let's say, X rupees. Either I pay 39,000 cash at the 0th month, this is option number 1, or my each monthly installment should come down to 39,000 plus 6,000 down payment. Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, me paying 6,000 rupees as down payment plus whatever I pay over here, what will be its value towards the end? So 6,000 I've already paid at 0th year. Now what will be the value of this X towards the end of the 4th? Because whatever I'm paying in the first installment, that value needs to be accumulated and it has to reach at the 4th month. So whatever I'm paying over here as the first installment, its value will be multiplied by 2% 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. Similarly, whatever I'm paying at the second month, the value will be multiplied twice. Whatever I'm paying at the third month, the value will be multiplied once, and the fourth month, the value has to be equal, and this entire amount should come down to 39,000. Do you understand this?
Okay, got it.
Because you cannot pay 39,000 at a go, so they allow you that you don't pay at a go, you pay to us in installments. But whatever installments you pay, those should amount to 39,000 at the end. So once you do this calculation, you should get your answer. I'm not going ahead with the calculation, that you can do it, not a problem. Let's look at this question. John borrowed 2,10,000 from a bank at an interest rate of 10% per annum, compounded annually. So clearly your 10% rate will be considered. The loan was repaid in 2 equal installments. The first after 1 year and second after another year. And the first installment was interest of 1 year plus a part of principal amount, while the second was the rest of the principal amount plus the due interest. That is always the case. What is the value of each installment? Again, talking about 0, 1, and 2. John borrowed 2,10,000 at 0th year. Now he is paying X percent and X rupees and X rupees as 2 different installments at the end of 1 year and 2 years, but the installment amount is same because they have said 2 equal installments. So this X plus this X, the value should come down to 2,10,000. Now I have to come back in my timeline. So can I say this 2,10,000, this X, which I'm paying after 1 year, what will be its value at the 0th year? Divided by 1.1. And this X, which I'm paying after 2 years, can I say its value at the 0th year will be divided by 1.1 square? Whatever installment I'm paying in the later stage, its value today, because you have to come back in time, will be discounted. So you will have to divide by that much percentage. If you have to go forward in time, the value of money is going to increase. So you will have to multiply with the rate. So this 2,10,000, my both the installments in the future date should be equivalent to 2,10,000, which is why I will have to divide it with the percentage rate. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So once you solve this again, you should be getting your answer. You can solve this very easily. If I have to take a LCM, my LCM will be 1.1 square, which is nothing but 1.21, right? And once you take the LCM, this becomes, agreed?
Yes, ma'am.
1.1 plus 1 is 2.1.
Ma'am, can you just go over the question once more?
So here you have borrowed a certain amount in today's date. Okay. And you
Yes, ma'am.
have to pay the installments in the later dates. But the installment amounts are same. So basically,
Yes, ma'am.
whatever installment you are paying after 1 year, that value, that amount, what will be the value of that amount in today's date? Because you have to come back in time, it will be equal to x upon my 10%, 1.1. I mean, because
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
and when you're paying after 2 years, that will be discounted twice.
Yes, ma'am. So we square it. Okay, got it, ma'am.
Correct. So this 2.1 and 2,10,000, again, it's nothing but 1 lakh. So x is 1.21 into 1 lakh, which is 1,21,000. So what is that each installment in terms of x? It is 1,21,000.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. I think we had done this same question last time, if I'm not mistaken.
So the total of both the X values will come to 1,42,000. Like when we add
Hmm.
both the installments, it will come to 2,42,000.
Hmm.
So that is the value of the bank loan plus the interest on it.
Correct.
Okay.
Right? So basically, if I have to see practically also show you, let's say I'm paying 1,21,000 here at the end of first year. Now, because it's a 10%, from a bank perspective, what will I think is, आपने मुझसे 2,10,000 की लोन ली है, plus because 1 year is already gone, you are already uh, uh, interest of 10% is applied on it. ठीक है? So basically, by the end of 1 year, you are liable to pay 2,31,000. Do you agree with this?
Yes, ma'am.
But you are
Yes.
paying how much?
1,21,000.
Correct. So now, what is your outstanding amount? Is 1,10,000. Agreed?
Yes.
Now, this is an outstanding amount which still gets extended for a year. So again, 10% interest gets added on this. So now what becomes your outstanding amount, which you are paying at the end of second year? Moving ahead, come on. What will be the answer to this?
The fourth option, same as, sorry.
Because it's a special case, same cost price, and profit of 10, loss of 10. So clearly it has to be no profit, no loss. Okay, what about this?
The formula will be used X square
So apply the
upon
formula and tell me the answer. What was the formula? X square upon
100%.
100%
Loss.
cost. So what will be the answer?
1% loss.
Correct. Next. This also we did this type. Solve and tell me the answer. What is the concept that is used over here?
Multiplier.
But because there's a discount percentage and a profit percentage, you compare the selling prices from both the ends. Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
We did this.
Yes, ma'am.
If I compare both of these, I can say mark price into 8 by 9 is equal to cost price into 8 by 7. Do we agree? So your mark price upon your cost price is 9 by 7. What have they asked? What percentage above the cost price has he marked the goods? Which means markup percentage. How do I find markup percentage?
2 by 7 into 100.
Which will be,
28.57.
are we clear? Markup percentage is markup upon cost price, which is 2 by 7, which is 28.57. Next, come on, let's try to solve this. Amol purchases some pens at rupees 8. I don't know how many. It's some pens. To sell these, he hires an employee at a fixed wage. He sells 100 of these pens at 12 rupees each. If the remaining ones are sold at 11 each, he makes a net profit of 300, while he makes a net loss of 300 if the remaining pens are sold at 9 each. What is the wage of the employee? Yes, so how can we solve this?
Taking the total pens as x,
Hmm.
so then we can make equations.
Okay, let's make that equation then. Let's say total quantity is X, and let's say wage of the employee is, let's say, W. Let's make an equation. So in the first case, there is a profit. So profit is nothing but selling price minus cost price. Okay. What is the profit amount?
300.
Okay. So in the first case, what is the total selling price? He sells 100 at 12 rupees each. So 1200 plus
Yes.
he sells remaining at 11 rupees each. So what will be the remaining number of pens?
X minus 100.
Correct. So this will be my total selling price. Minus total cost price will be, what will be the total cost price to Amal?
8x
Plus,
wages.
did we understand the equation? Now in the second case, there is a net loss of 300 rupees. I know that loss is cost price minus selling price. So let us make the second equation 300. What is the cost price in the second case? I think cost price is not changing. It will be still 8x plus W. Agreed?
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the total selling price? Now you tell me.
100 into 12 plus x minus 100 into 9.
Correct? So now you have two equations and two variables. You just need to, of course, open up these brackets and get simple linear equations. So you will have two linear equations, which when you solve, you will get the value of W. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can do the solving part at home. In case you don't get the answer, you can let me know next time. Moving further. Okay, let's see what has happened. Raj invested rupees 10,000 in a fund. At the end of first year, he incurred a loss, but his balance was more than 5,000. So he invested 10,000. At the end of first year, his balance was more than 5,000, but there was a loss, which means it is less than 10,000. Okay. This balance, when invested for another year, grew and the percentage of growth in the second year was 5 times the percentage of loss in the first year. So let's say this was a X% loss, then this became 5X% profit. Is everybody understanding what I'm writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. If the gain of Raj from the initial investment over the 2-year period is 35%, what is the percentage of loss in the first year? All right. Which means from year to year, the profit is 35%. So can you tell me what will be the value of the investment at the end of second year? Totally from 10,000, Raj is gaining 35%. So what should be the value at the end of second year? What is 35% of 10,000?
One seven five seven.
135, no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't know what has happened in between, but this is my overall effect. Did we understand this first? Acha, what I was thinking is just one more way of doing it. Can we use the concept of successive percentage increase, decrease? See what has happened? In the first year, there is a X% loss. Second year is 5X% profit. And the overall effect is 35% profit. What was the formula for successive percentage increase, decrease?
A plus B plus AB by 100.
Correct. All right. In this case, what will be A?
X.
No. Minus X. Why?
Yeah, there's a loss.
What will be B?
Plus 5x
And what will be A into B?
minus 5x square.
And what is the overall effect? Overall percentage effect is 35%.
35%.
Did we understand the equation?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see how we can go about this. So minus x plus 5x is 4x. If I cancel this 5 and 100, I'm going to get x square upon 20 is equal to 35. Now, how would you solve from this stage? How would you solve?
Making it a quadratic equation.
Okay. Any other option or any other method? You know what I would do? I would simply substitute my options. What are you supposed to find? Percentage of loss in the first year, which means you are supposed to find the value of x, correct?
Okay. Yes.
I'll just substitute my options and see which option gives me the value. Let's say if I substitute 10, 4 into 10 is 40. 100 upon 20 is 5. Oh, I am lucky I got my option 1 as the answer. You might not always, but still substituting the options would be faster.
Yes, ma'am.
You can use your successive percentage increase decrease formula. This was not needed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Moving ahead. If a seller gives a discount of 15% on retail price, which is a marked price, she still makes a profit of 2%. Which of the following ensures that she makes a profit of 20%? So in this case, what I can do, because everything is in terms of percentage, I can start by assuming one value. Let's say I assume my cost price to be 100. Because everything is in terms of percentage, I can do this. Okay. Now, because I am given the cost price and I am said the profit is 2%, what should be my final selling price?
102.
102. Okay. And this is done after giving 15% discount on the marked price. How do I relate marked price, selling price, and discount?
Selling price is equal to marked price into multiplier.
Correct. So your 102 is equal to mark price into, because the discount is 15%, can I say the multiplier will be 85 by 100? So I can say my mark price will be 10200 by 85. I can reduce it how much ever I can. Do not go into decimals, stick to fractions. Okay. So 5 17s are, 5 2s are 10, 0, 5 4s are 20, 0. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what do they want? They want that she makes a profit of 20%, which means, again, because you have assumed cost price, your cost price does not change. So if your profit is 20%, what is the selling price that they are looking at? What is the selling price that they are looking at?
120.
120. So if marked price is 5040 and if selling price is 120, what is the option that satisfies this? So first option I'll try giving a discount of 5% on retail price. So if I give a discount of 5% on retail price, so 5040 upon 17 is the retail price, and I'm giving a 5% discount. Do I reach 120 is my question. Do you think I'm going to reach 120? I don't.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next, what I can try is giving a discount of 2%. If I'm giving a discount of 2%, it becomes 98 by 100. Do you think I'll reach 120?
No.
Is 98? I won't. Increasing the retail price by 2%. If I increase the retail price by 2%, it becomes 5040 upon 17 into 102 by 100. So is this kind of helping us in any way?
No, ma'am.
Selling at retail price, even that is not. One of the options has to satisfy. None of the
Ma'am, discount is always given on marked price.
mark price, correct.
So if we assume the marked price to be 100 instead of the cost price, will that help?
We can try that. That's not a problem. Let's try that. Because this is not helping. Let's try that. Wait. Okay. So if you're saying your mark price is 100, so again in that case, I'll first have to see the first condition. Giving a discount of 15%, which means your selling price becomes 85, she still makes a profit of 2%. So I still have to reach at a cost price. So 85 is equal to cost price into 102 by 100, right? So cost price becomes 8500 by 102. Fine. Now I want a profit of 20%, which means the cost price, we have come this to this cost price. So your profit of 20% will be nothing but into 6 by 5 of this. So if I try to
Yes, ma'am.
cancel out, this is 1700 and this gets cancelled by 6 as, oh, so this becomes 100. We must have done some calculation mistake in the last one. Okay, so basically to make a profit of to make a profit of 20%, the selling price has to come down to 100, which means he will have to sell at the marked price itself. Did we understand what happened? You started from a marked price and you reached the same number as the required selling price, which means you will have to sell at the marked price itself without giving any discount. Did we get this, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving to the next question then. The manufacturer of a table sells it to a wholesale dealer at a profit of 10%. The wholesale dealer sells to a retailer at a profit of 30%. And retailer sells it to a customer at a profit of 50%. Okay, so there are how many people? There's a manufacturer, there's a wholesale dealer, there is a retailer, and there is a customer. Okay, manufacturer dealer sells at a profit of 10%. Wholesale dealer sells at a profit of 30%. And retailer sells at a profit of 50%. And finally, customer pays 4290. What is the manufacturing cost? How will you go about this?
Successive percentages here.
Yes, it is successive percentages. So basically a multiplier method. Let's say manufacturing cost is X. So if 10% is increased on X, it becomes
11 by 10.
correct. So which means wholesale dealer got the product in 11 by 10x. Now 30% is increased on this. So it becomes
13 by 10.
correct. And further 50% is increased on this. So it becomes
3 by 2.
and finally, after all these increases, the customer is paying. If I have to cancel it, let's say 13 threes are 39. 13 threes are 39 and 0. 11 into 3 is 33. So this is 10. So your x is 2 into 10 into 10 into 10. Did we understand this? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving ahead. A man sold 2 articles such that the selling price of first is twice the selling price of second. The profit made on first article is 20% and the loss on second article is 10%. Find the overall profit or loss percentage. So clearly, here none of the shortcuts will apply. Okay. Let's say this is the first article. This is the second article. What is the data given to you? The data given to you is in terms of selling price. So can we assume their selling prices? Because everything is given in terms of percentage and asked in percentage. What can you assume their selling price to be?
100 and 200.
So this will be 100 and this will be 200. Agreed?
Yes.
Now the first article has a profit of 20%. So can you calculate the cost price for me? What will be your cost price?
166.66.
Yeah, but I prefer to be in fractions. That will ease off your calculation early.
So, yeah, 1000 by 6 then.
Okay. In the second case, there is a loss of 10%. So what will be the cost price? Hmm?
1000 by 9.
Perfect. Now you are supposed to find overall profit or loss percentage. I know that my total selling price is 300. What will be the total cost price? If you just take the LCM, agreed? If I take my LCM as 18, it will be 3000 plus 2000, 5000 upon 18.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it a profit or a loss?
Loss.
Cost price is more or selling price is more?
Oh, sorry, it's a profit. Cost price is lesser.
Correct. So how do I find profit or loss percentage? See, I told you do not simplify the fractions for a reason. Somewhere down the line, those will get cut. 18 threes is 54. So 5400 minus 5000 is 400 upon 18. Upon 5000 upon 18 will give you nothing but 400 upon 5000 as the final fraction. Do we agree with this? And if I convert it into percentage, that becomes 8% profit. Is everybody getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's do this. Again, a very frequently type of question and an easy question. Let's understand how do we form the equation. By selling 9 items, a loss of selling price of 3 items is occurred. So basically, they're talking about a loss over here. We know that loss is always written as cost price minus selling price for any number of articles. Okay. Now, what is the amount of loss they are talking about? Selling price of 3 items. How many items they are talking about?
9 items.
And we know one rule that profit or loss percentage cannot be calculated unless the items on both the sides are equal. So if I'm selling 9 items, I would have bought how many items?
9.
So the total cost price has to be the cost price of 9 items, and my total selling price has to be the selling price of 9 items. This equation is most important. Now the next steps are
Yes, ma'am.
very simple. You get your selling price on one side, you get your cost price on another side, which means your selling price of one item upon cost price of one item is 9 by 12, which is 3 by 4. So what will be your loss percentage?
25.
Correct. All right. Let's do this one more question here. By selling toffees at 56 a rupee, a vendor loses 30%. Same type of an equation. यहाँ पे I'm told selling toffees at 56 a rupee, which means what is the selling price of one toffee? I'm selling 56 toffees in 1 rupee. 56 a rupee, which means selling price of one toffee will be this phrase. Did we understand this phrase?
One rupee.
Sorry. What do I mean by selling toffees at 56 a rupee? Which means I'm selling 56 toffees in 1 rupee. So what will be the selling price per toffee?
1 by 56.
Yes. Okay, and now there's a loss of 30%. So let us form that multiplier equation. Sorry, I'm writing it again. selling price is equal to cost price into the multiplier. Because there is a loss of 30%, the multiplier will be 7 by 10. Did we understand this equation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which means your cost price is nothing but 10 upon 56 into 7. I'm not going to simplify this. I'll keep it as it is. Now, what is told to me? How many toffees for a rupee should he sell to gain 40%? Now, at this cost price, if I want to gain 40%, I can again form the same multiplier equation. Yes? What will be the equation? Tell me. What will be the multiplier in this case when the profit is 40%?
2 by 5, so 7 by 5.
Very good. So certain things get cancelled. This becomes 2 and this becomes 1 by 28. So if selling price per toffee is 1 by 28, how many toffees should he sell in 1 rupee?
28 toffees.
Correct. All right, so I think we will stop solving for the day here.